And it's time once again for another Cendrowski Business Minute. Today we have Jody Mersinger with us, and she's going to answer this important question. Jody, what is capital gains tax?
Well, Dave, first of all, taxable income is put into different buckets depending on the type of income or the source of the income. For instance, your wages and interests and dividends and business income are considered ordinary income. If you have a gain from the sale of an asset, say securities or certain types of real estate as an investment, that's considered a capital gain. And capital gains are then further put into buckets based on the term that you have held the asset. So if you've held the asset for 1 year or less, it's considered short term. If it's held over a year, it's considered long term. And that's important because long term held assets have reduced tax rates. The long-term capital tax rates depend on what your taxable income level is. The max capital gain rate on long-term holdings is 20%, but it can go down to 0% if your income is at a really low level. So it is important because of that to make sure you're cognizant of the holding periods of your assets, and when you're selling your assets to try to match your capital gains and losses, for one thing, because you can have a loss if your basis exceeds your selling price, but they do offset gains. Losses, however, are only deductible in a given year to the extent of $3,000, and the rest is carried over indefinitely. So what you don't want to be in a position of is having a significant capital gain in year one and then a significant capital loss in year two, because you can't carry that capital loss back to shelter that capital gain. But if you time it so it's in the same year, then it will shelter that capital gain. Or if you have a loss in year one and the gain in year two, the loss can be carried forward to offset that gain.
All right, so if you have a question about capital gains or any other type of taxes, you need to reach out to Jody at Cendrowski Corporate Advisors, and you can do that by calling 866-717-1607, 866-717-1607. Cendrowski Corporate Advisors, they're a CPA firm with a different perspective.